Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Prabhakar sir, good afternoon. Nirmal speaking. Yeah. How are you, sir? Yeah, fine?
Yeah, fine, sir, fine.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
are you, sir?
Fine, sir. Fine, fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I think Siranjeev sir is also there. Okay. Only two people are there. Okay. Maybe others will be joining. Maybe. Right. So today we'll discuss about the strategic management, the subject. Okay. According to our syllabus and everything. So I'm handling today is strategic management for you people. MSPL 23, right? So we'll start with that, and I will share the PPT also. And before going to that, maybe Prabhakar said maybe tell about the what you mean by strategy. Any idea? Strategy about that? Because a lot of time we discussed it's one of the management principles or management function, right? So most of the time we'll discuss on that. So just maybe give an overview on that. What do you mean by strategy?
Yes, sir. If you see, generally, so
Hmm.
for any particular task on organization,
Okay.
some sort of formula to be made for that completing uh, the particular job. So
Okay.
that
Hmm.
particular formula is nothing but strategy, we can call.
Particular formula. Okay, great. Okay, particular formula. Maybe Siranjeev sir, yeah, whether your view on that? Particular, Prabhakar sir told about the particular formula. Okay, okay. So, any other
Sir,
word, but yeah,
No idea,
yeah,
sir.
no idea, no problem, no problem. Yeah,
sir, a small
yeah,
clarification. Actually, we guys going to complete this year. So they supposed to ask for submission of project. No, sir.
right.
What is the general procedure supposed to be followed, and how the selecting guide and how to approach? Any idea? Because we never exposed any
Okay.
details regarding.
Yeah, I think Global Academy will help you out with that. Maybe you check with ma'am and everything. Yeah, the center, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I will take.
Yeah, whether you discuss with them about this project and
No, no,
everything.
actually,
Ah,
yeah, no, no. Actually, today only they posted that
okay,
there is a form.
okay,
Snap, they asked us to support to the TNOU directly.
okay, okay, okay.
That is the reason I just started query. Oh,
No
anyway,
problem.
I
No,
will ask.
no problem. If anything help you, I will help you out. Not an issue. You before that you check with the Global Academy and see that they will definitely help you out. Right? No?
Yeah, sir. Thank you.
Okay. If anything is there, I will also will help you out with people. Not an issue. Right? I will guide you through. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Siranjeev. Yeah. Karthik. Karthik also came. Right. Good afternoon, Karthik. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Right. So we discussed about the strategic management. I think Karthik also came late. So we are discussing about strategic management and everything. So Prabhakar sir told about the particular formula and everything. What is your opinion, Karthik? Strategy. What do you mean by strategy? Any idea on the strategy? No. Strategy is a plan of action, actually. Strategy is a plan of action. As Prabhakar sir rightly told, the formula, instead of that, it's a plan of action designed to achieve a long term.
So sorry, sir.
Sorry.
Achieving the success, sir.
Achieve the success. Yes, it's a plan of action, right? It's a plan of action. So Sarah also told about formula. Yes, both are relevant together, but in management terms, they call it as a plan of action to achieve a success, as Karthik told, and overall plan. A lot of things depends upon the organization, depends upon the company, depends upon the industry. The strategy also differs. I will ask only one question: whether you heard about planning, everything, right? Whether strategy is important or planning is important, according to you. There is a difference between strategy and planning is also there, right?
Planning is important, sir. Because how implementing planning, that is called a strategy mostly, and the basic is planning.
Okay, basic is planning, but which one give a more result?
Yeah, strategies.
Strategy, right? Okay, right. So, great. I think fruitful discussion. I will share the PPT for you people. All right. I think who came now? Satyanarayan. Okay, Satyanarayan sir. Okay. I'll share the PPT. All right. So you can able to see the PPT?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So strategic management, unit 1, we're discussing on that. It is the introduction of the strategic management. So management, right? You know that the art of getting things done through people. Mary Parker Follett describes or defines management, an art of getting things done through people. So that is a management simple definition. Lot of is a major difference between planning and strategy, because most of the time people will get confused. Both are same. Also, some people will tell planning and strategy are same and everything. It's not same actually. So see this. What is the difference between planning and strategy? One by one, we'll see this. Planning is an anticipation and preparation in advance, right, for the uncertain future events. Right. The strategy is the best plan chosen among the various alternatives for the accomplishment of objectives. Right. Next one. Next difference. Planning is like a map for guidance, while strategy is the path which takes you to your destination. See that a lot of difference is there, right? It's a map for guidance, but strategy is the path which you takes your destination. Strategy leads to planning, right? And planning leads to programs. Planning is future oriented, whereas strategy is action oriented. See that there is a lot of differences there. Planning takes assumptions, but strategy is based on practical experience. See that is also very important. Planning can be about short term or long term depending upon the circumstances, because planning leads to programs. Maybe it's a short term program or long term program, unlike strategy, which is for the long term. Planning is part of the managerial process, and conversely, strategy is a part of decision making. See this. Now tell me, we discussed about the difference between planning and strategy. Which one is more important, according to your view? If you are a management person, if you are a owner of the company or owner of the business or anything, which one is important now? Which one you will give more importance now? Whether it's maybe a planning or strategy. Which one sounds good actually? Yeah, anyone? Which one sounds good? That's all. My answer. Which one sounds good?
Yes, strategy.
Strategy, right?
Yes. Yes.
Are you accepting? Because
Yes,
most
yes.
of the time our mindset will be go for planning only. Am I right or wrong? Yeah. Even I also think about planning about things, but strategy. Okay, I'll give you one example, very clear, very simple example for you. Suppose a war happened. Suppose already happened, right? A war between Iraq and the US, right? What type of system they followed actually? War happened between US and Iraq. Whether they done run for planning or strategy?
They gone like strategy.
Strategy, yes, because it's a long term, right? Is for the short term. So, because why I'm telling war actually means for military organizations, armed force, army people, military people normally goes for the strategy only, right? Because strategy will give the overall results and achieve the results, right? Practical experience. I told about that also. See that planning takes assumptions. Assumption is not right thing, right? See that, but strategy is based on practical experience, right? So it is very important thing. Kindly note it down. What do you mean by difference between planning and strategy? So clear? Everyone is clear about that. Management is also clear, and strategy also we discussed about the definition. Now differences between planning and strategy also we discussed. Clear? Right. Shall I move to next slide, or your people noting down, or I'll move to next slide? Yeah. This is very beautiful slide also, because it tells about the difference between planning and strategy in detail in a simple manner. Okay. So normally, I'll tell strategy is very important in the sequence, in the sequence of the management functions. I think principles of management you studied. Principles of management, anything? POM.
Yes, yes, sir. We studied.
Yeah. What is the management functions normally? Functions of management.
Yeah, a planning organization. Unable to remember, sir.
What is? Yeah. You know that the pot score and everything, in the short form, it's called as a pot score, right? Planning, organizing, directing, right? Staffing, right? Controlling, budgeting. Well, you heard about that, no? Budgeting.
Yes, yes, sir. Because this we studied it in engineering.
Okay.
A long time back.
Right. Decision making. Okay, great. So various things will be there in the management functions. Okay. So normally the strategy also plays an important, vital role in the management functions. Right. Before normally that sequence will be strategy become a number one, then only the planning become number two. Actually, because the results, it's a result oriented, action oriented, practical experiences. You can learn a lot of things from the strategy. Okay, I'll go to next slide. So these are the how the subject goes here. So strategic management, introduction, concept of strategy, need of strategy. Okay, so these are the things. Here also McKinsey 7S model and strategic vision. So strategy here. So see that's what is strategy means. Again, one more thing, art of general. It will got art of general also. Management art of getting things done, right? From strategy from the strategia, from Greek word strategia, office or command of general, from strategos, general, from strato, multitude, army, expedition. See that Greek word and French word, right? So various words they are derived from strategia, strategos. See that strategy, office or command of general, strategos, general, right? From stratos, multitude, army, expedition. See that. So what where is the term comes from French word, Greek word, everything. So see that army also plays a role here. So that is the thing, art of general, like a military, right? Expedition, decision makings. So a lot of things will be there. So what does strategy means? I given the definition also, right? Yeah. Introduction and concept of strategy. Strategy is an action that managers take to attain one or more of the organization goals. Strategy is a well-defined roadmap of an organization. It defines the overall mission, vision, and direction of an organization. A strategy is all about integrating organizational activities and utilizing and allocating the scarce resources within the organization environment so as to meet the present objectives. So strategy is an action that managers take to attain one or more of the organizational goals. Okay, and it also defines a mission, vision, goals, objectives also. Mission, vision, goals, and objectives comes in the unit 2 also. Here also we'll discuss the unit 2 also strategic intent also it will be discussed in detail. Okay, so kindly note down this. While planning a strategy, it is essential to consider that decisions are not taken in the vacuum, and that any act taken by a firm is likely to be met by a reaction from those affected, competitors, customers, employees, or suppliers. Right? So the proper decision making, I told about that. You people, decision making strategy. Right? So it may be a collective action from various peoples, right? Like those affected, competitors, customers, employees, or suppliers, anybody. Planning a strategy is very important, and it's not in a decision, is not in a vacuum. Okay. So, what does strategy mean today? A plan, method, or a series of maneuvers, stratagems for obtaining a specific result. So, that is a strategy mean. Today, we seen as strategy. Need of strategy. It gives direction, facilitate overall effectiveness, coordinate the activities, facilitates optimal resource allocation, helps in comparing the course of action, program all organizational activities. So, need of strategy. Why strategy is needed? So, for various reasons here. Facilitate optimal resource allocation also. Okay, in this, I'll give you one small example for you people also. Suppose in a company, in an organization, right? We need paper actually, right? Why paper is important for organization? A4 paper, I'm asking. A4 paper. Why it's needed? I'm giving example. Okay, I'm giving example. Why it's needed? Yeah, A4 paper, stationery materials or A4 paper. Why it's needed for organization? Maybe for the daily use. Okay, right. Suppose I'll give an example. The cost occurrence is more in the stationery, right? In organization, management is investing a lot of money, like spending expenditures, more expenditures on stationery. What do you do now as a manager? More cost occurrence happening. What do you do now normally as a manager? Yeah, anyone? Any can give the answer? Yeah. So what happens if you more paper consumption is happening in the organization? More cost is involved, right? So you want to cut the cost minimization, cost optimization, right? So every management focus on the cost minimization and optimization of resources, right? So normally they will go for the alternate solutions. So they have the strategy to work on that, how to minimize the cost and everything. Suppose if A4, what is the cost of the A4 ream? Anybody? A4 ream, one ream, how much cost in a market?
245.
Which one ream of bundle of paper? Yeah, Karthik has told something. Yeah, Karthik, yeah?
It's about 150 rupees.
245 I bought full paper.
45 rupees only, one ream
Yes, sir,
of paper?
245.
245. Yeah, how many, one ream is equal to how many papers are there? Any idea? One ream is equal to how many papers? Normally, A4 bundle paper. I think Karthik also bought 245. What is the company, Karthik?
Sir, TNPL, 500 sheets, sir. 80 GS.
80 GSM TNPL. Okay. 500 sheets.
Yes.
Okay. Normally 500 sheets will be there or not? Any idea? Normally?
Still now I didn't count it, sir.
It's 450 only. Most of the companies will give 450 only, right? So Karthik rightly told about 80 GSM is an ideal paper, right? Instead of go for the 70. 75 is also okay. Why 80 GSM?
Sir,
Karthik?
70
think
GSM also, sir. 70 GSM is a very less cost, but paper quality is not as much as good 80 GSM. When we use in printer,
Yeah, yeah. 70 GSM, yeah, rate wise
70 GSM won't support it. It will get some
won't
fade.
support in the.
It will get some fade, sir. That printer.
Okay.
So
Yes,
80
great.
GSM is
The printers.
80 GSM is
Yes,
fine.
great, fantastic. Right answer. Yes, the lesser GSM, rightly told, 70 GSM. Even TNPL have a 65 GSM also, right? A lot of GSMs are there, but it's not suit for the printers. It will damage the printer if you take the printout, right? 75 to 80 GSM is the right one. 80 is perfect, actually. 80 is perfect because the printer should have the friendly attitude, right? It should not damage. We don't want any service also if you use the proper GSM. Great. GSM also decides the pricing also, right? So these are the things normally management focus on that, and a lot of money also involved. For every month they have the stationery expenses and everything. Definitely to cut the unnecessary cost, right? Because in some organization people also will carry the paper like staplers. A lot of things mishandling will happen in these stationery. So that also even that need also strategies needed, like finance department, purchase department. They should focus on the strategy to control the cost and everything, right? So this is a simple example I've given you people, right? Dimensions of strategy. Right. Process, content, and organizational purpose. Strategy process, strategy content. Conditions surrounding strategy activities. Yeah, organizational purpose. Impetus for strategy activities, that is input. Flow of strategy activities, throughput. Strategy content, result of strategy activities, output. So these are normal things, how the process will happen, content will happen, right? Context, the overall context, right? What is the productivity ratio? What do you mean by productivity ratio? Any idea on that? How will you define the productivity ratio? Normally, answer is here only. You can tell me.
Work by time, sir.
Productivity is the
work is
okay. Any other? Answer is here only. I given the clue also. Yes, Prabhakaran sir, something you want to tell?
Is that about the efficiency of production?
Which one? Yeah. Breaking, yeah. Sorry, line is breaking. Okay. Input by output. Okay. So that is one of the ratio. See this dimensions again: strategy process, strategy context, strategy content. Okay. Next one. So strategy is divided into corporate strategy, business strategy, functional strategy, right? Corporate, business, functional. In the pyramid itself, they mentioned a business you should be in corporate strategy. A business strategy, tactics to beat the competition. Functional strategy, operational methods to implement the tactics. See this levels of strategy: corporate level strategy, business level strategy, functional level strategy. Corporate level strategy, top management. It's in the pyramid itself from the upper end, right? Top position, top management people will be there. Top management's overall plan for the entire organization and its strategic business units. Corporate level strategy occupies the height of levels of decision making also. Top management normally will focus on the decision making, right? Forms of corporate level strategy: growth, stability, retrenchment. So growth, expansion to new products and markets, stability, maintenance of the status of the organization, retrenchment, renewal, redirection of the firm into new markets. So growth, stability, retrenchment, renewal. After seeing this, which one comes into your mind? I think you people studied the marketing management subject. Yeah, anyone? Whether you studied marketing management? Studied or it's completed or not completed? Marketing management. Hello, yeah, can you hear me? Hello, am I audible?
Breaking.
Yeah, sometimes the internet connection is unstable, it's showing for me. Yeah. So marketing management, you people studied or not? You studied. Okay. What is the product life cycle you studied? Product life cycle? PLC. What do you mean by product life cycle? Anything comes into your mind? No idea. Product life cycle. The phases will be there. No? The stages will be there. Introduction, growth, maturity, decline. Whether you remember or not? Chat. Okay.
It's from first year of marketing management. Now only getting the connection. Sorry.
Yeah. Shaheen, you mentioned yes, sir. Growth, yes. Okay. Yes, yeah. Karthik. I think Karthik only. Yeah. I think now you remember product life cycle, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Yeah. The same thing in a corporate level strategy also, right? It's highly relevant to that product life cycle, right? So see that growth, stability, retrenchment is more relevant to that. After seeing the word, see that, right? Expansion to new products and markets, a lot of things will happen. So forms of corporate strategy level and what they will do, right? So PLC is very important for a management point of view for bringing in new products or expansion of things. Next one, see this growth strategy seeking to increase organization business by expansion to new products and markets. Definitely types of growth strategies. See that different types of growth strategy, concentration, diversification, right? Concentration, vertical integration, horizontal integration, diversification. Concentration, the company concentrates more resources on the product line to increase its participation, the value chain of the product. The two main types of concentration strategies, right? Here I mentioned here. Vertical integration and horizontal integration. Vertical integration, backward vertical integration, forward vertical integration. So they will see which one is doing good on what are the bases and what are happening to the products, right? So these are things. And horizontal integration, that is also happens. Diversification, a company operating in distinct and diverse market environments. So these are things. See that related diversification, unrelated diversification. Some similar factors can be used by diversification. For example, a tea company starts producing other foods products to take advantage of the distribution network. Yes. Unrelated, company enters entirely different product market segments. So these are the different types and everything. And why to pursue growth? Normally, why growth strategy? Growth is necessary for survival in future. Growth offers large scale of operation. Growth strategy is taken up because of motivation to do so. Yes, management likes this also. It's a motivational factor and everything. Intangible advantage of growth, right? So here, growth strategy because a lot of articles, a lot of news on the company. Any idea on that? Come across that? Growth strategy is taken up because motivation to do so. Any company comes to your mind? For various purpose, growth strategy is very important for a company. So I'm asking about the third one. Which company comes into your mind? Okay, maybe I will give you an example of Amazon. Think about Amazon, right? Or Flipkart. Now tell me, these become a motivation factor for other companies also. Any examples like Amazon, Flipkart? Like Amazon, Flipkart, who are the other people doing the business? Like online. Amazon, Flipkart is online business. Who are the other people actively engaged on anything? Okay, I'll give you one clue actually. What about Tata? Now tell me. I given the clue also. Recently, you've seen a lot of news about Tata and everything. Tata company and everything. Now tell me. Any idea comes into your mind? Because Tata is already in the offers a growth stage only, growth strategy. Now still they are doing with that. Whether Tata started e-commerce business, online business like Amazon, Flipkart, anybody tried? Tata is doing the business or not online? So they are also in the e-commerce business, Tata Click, you know that.
Yes,
right?
Tata Click using mobile 60% offer.
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Yes, Tata is also doing like e-commerce, right?
Yes, sir.
Because they don't want to survive in anything. They are giant actually. What, Karthik? They are giant actually. They are already in the growth only. But motivation, even Tata, Ratan Tata is having the motivation to do the different business actually, right? Even with the e-commerce business. Now one more business also. Any idea on that? What are the Tata's business? Any idea?
Sir, the main is the steel, I think.
Steel. Any other? What about airlines? Any idea?
No, they started Vistara, sir. Vistara.
Yes,
the tie-up
great.
with the
I think
company.
yes, Vistara, right? They are see that industries are expanding, right? They have the motivation. They are not a small company. They are a big company. IT giants also, TCS. So a lot of things are happening, but they are expanding because of the motivation and because they want to give the customers a right price also. That is also one factor, right? Who is the competitor for Tata? Major competitor. Even Tata also told that actually in an indirect manner. Ambani, you know that Ambani, Reliance, right? Reliance people. So what happens?
Sir, Reliance is businessman.
Reliance is a
Tata is the
businessman.
industrialist.
Yes, that's the that's focused on the employment opportunities also. He respects the employees, right? So he wants to give good service to the customers. So, but I'm not blaming the Reliance also. Reliance is a business, typical business, like in hospital, Apollo and the other hospitals, like service-oriented hospitals, right? So, like same thing. So, because of the motivation, and he wants to do something to the customers, people, and everything. So, he also again back to the business, and even 1mg. You know that 1mg, 1mg product, 1mg. What is the 1mg company? 1mg?
Pharmacy, sir.
Pharmacy, online pharmacy. Yes. So what happens? That deal also finished with the Tata. Okay. Even Tata is acquiring the more shares with the 1mg, and they want to do the pharmacy business also. So a lot of things happening, right? So this is why I'm telling, this is a motivation, right? Motivation to do so, and good to the customers and people, and this will happen in the corporate level strategy, right? Next is stability strategy. First one, growth stability. In simple words, stability strategy refers to the company's policy continuing the same business with the same objectives. That's normally happening with the Tata and everything. All the corporates also, most of the time, they'll focus on the business and the objectives, same business and objectives. Because you told about steel and everything also, Tata is a king actually. Tata is the leader, right? So why to pursue the stability strategy again? It is less risky. The environmental phase is relatively stable. Expansion may be perceived as a threatening. So this also will happen. Growth happens. Stability also will occur, right? So for some companies, some organization. Next one, retrenchment renewal strategy. Retrenched. See this in corporate level strategy. These strategies also plays a vital role here. A retrenchment strategy, turnaround, divestment, liquidation. See, these are the different types will follow in retrenchment strategy. Are pursued when a company's product lines are performing poorly as a result of finding itself in a weak competitive position or a general decline in industry or markets. So this one thing. In product life cycle, which one is the stage? Now tell me. Which stage belongs to renewal and retrenchment strategy in PLC? Because I'm already told about that. I'm coordinating all the concepts, right? So which stage, which one? Coordinates the product life cycle. Yeah. Yeah, tell me. Yeah. Which stage in product life cycle? Decline, right? Decline stage. Are you clear? Okay. Product life cycle is very issue. How many stages are there in product life cycle? Definitely, people should know this. How many types are there? How many stages? Chatting, yeah, chatting. 4. Shaheen told 4. Only 4 or lesser 4 or more than 4? Whether 4 is the right one? Shaheen mentioned 4. Okay, normally 4 stages are there. Definitely, product life cycle, that is the important stages. Other stages are there or not? It's no, it's right only in my perception, sir. Yeah, Shaheen rightly told about 4 stages. It's perfect, but 2 more stages are there. What are they? Any idea on that? Before introduction, what it comes? Anyone? Prabhakan sir, Karthik, anyone? Satyanarayan sir. What it comes normally? Suppose if you are developing planning, no. Suppose if you are developing the product, right? You are introducing the product. What is the first stage? Research and development, R&D. Okay, research and development is the first stage. Then introduction, then growth, maturity, decline is there. Before decline, there's one more stage is also there. It's called as a saturation. Okay, saturation stage. So the product life cycle, the right stages is 6 stages. But some faculty, some authors will focus on 4 stages also. But normally 6 stages are there in the product life cycle. Are you clear? It will be useful for you, more useful, because in the corporate level, normally they will go for the PLC only. Clear? Everyone is clear? Please don't forget it. 6 stages will be there.
Hello.
Hello, yeah. So kindly mute it, everyone. Please, please.
சொல்லு சொல்லு என்னாச்சு?
Okay. Right. See this turnaround, divestment, liquidation, turnaround strategy, divestment strategy, liquidation strategy. Yeah. So there are 3 types in business level strategy. A business strategy that seeks to determine how an organization should compete in each of its SBU, strategic business units. At business level, allocation of resources among functional level and coordinate with the corporate level to the achievement of the corporate level objectives. Right? Allocation of resources, that's also very important here. Business level. Yeah, business level strategy, cost leadership, attaining and then using the lowest total cost basis is a competitive advantage. Differentiation, using product features or services to distinguish the firm's offerings from its competitors. Market focus, concentrating competitively on a specific market segment. See, these are the business level. See the differentiation. You know that corporate level is different. Corporate level normally focus on that areas. Like I already told about that growth, stability, retrenchment, and everything. Here, they are focusing on the competitor analysis, differentiation, like product features, how to increase the sales and everything, and even market focus also. Market focus. Right. Okay. I will maybe I will tell you about the unsolved matrix and everything. Whether you study unsolved matrix, anyone? Any idea? Any remember? Unsolved matrix, BCG matrix, anything people study? Any idea on that? Karthik or Prabhakar sir, anybody? Shahin, Siranjeev, yeah, Satyanarayan sir. Any knowledge on that? It also comes in the marketing management. Unsolved matrix. Yeah. Shahin said no. Okay. Why I'm telling this? Business level strategy, because in this strategy, normally unsolved matrix is a beautiful matrix actually to do the product and market. The other term is also called as product market matrix. It talks about the market and the product, how it behaves in the business. So that's the reason I told, because differentiation and the market focus mainly focused on the unsolved matrix. If okay, yeah, that's a big one actually. It's need more time also. If time permits, in the next session I will cover up that also. Right, in environmental appraisal everything, I will do that also. Clear? So always remember that unsolved matrix is one of the matrix. BCG matrix, SWOT analysis. You know that it's also called as TNOU matrix. A lot of models and matrix are there, because normally these people, because strategy, right? Strategy. These models will helpful for the strategy in the company, in the business or organization, right? So kindly note it down. Maybe you can example business level strategy is equal to unsolved matrix. In the forthcoming session, maybe I will discuss with you that also. Next one, functional level strategy. Focus is on improving the effectiveness of operations within a company, right? Which is done by manufacturing, marketing, materials management, R&D, human resources, HRM. So these are the functional level strategy. So from top to bottom, right? Top is corporate, number 1. Second is business level. Third is functional level. So these are the it is also called as operational level also sometimes. Sometimes it is called as operational level. Kindly note it down. The other term, functional level or operational level strategy. So which is done by internally, right? In the organization. So example, we focused on that. Manufacturing, marketing. Manufacturing means production area. Materials management, right? Like materials management, you know that. Inventory analysis, right? Stock keeping units, everything comes there. Research and development, I told about you. R&D, new product development. Suppose if you are developing a new product or launching the new product in the market, research and development plays a vital role, because a lot of things you will assess in the research and development only. Then only the product will be launched. The product is not directly launched into the market, right? What is any example you can give me? Research and development, how they will launch the product? what they will do normally if they develop the new product, right? How they will go for the market. Today, all are there, I think, today. Anyone can tell me, like Kausalya ma'am, anybody. Maybe we'll hear from the new people also. Joseph Raj, Sir Prabhakar sir is there. Yes, Spraja ma'am is there. Yeah. Karthik. Anyone can give me the idea on that, about that. Suppose a new product is developed by you. Think about that, and you want to introduce it to the market, right? Before introduce the market, what you will do normally?
You can check, sir, by something,
You can check.
by any authorities.
Okay. Right. Suppose I will give you a small example. Suppose I think everybody knows about think about Milo. Milo, you know that, no? Milo drink. Milo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What is Milo?
It's a drink, like
Milo,
a
chocolate drink. Milo is a cocoa based product and everything. Chocolate drink. How they introduced, any idea, into the market before introduction? What they done? How they carried out normally? They given the samples to the people, customers, the road wise, house wise, right? Even Nivaran 90, you know the Nivaran 90? Nivaran 90. What is Nivaran 90? In the medical shop, you can see that. Nivaran 90. What is the use of the Nivaran 90? It's a cough syrup, right? It's a cough syrup. Nivaran 90 is a cough syrup. And before introducing the market, what they done, they given to the schools also. I will tell you, this is a real thing happened. It's called as a pilot test actually. Maybe you can note it down, pilot test, and get the feedback from the customers. Even Milo, given the free sachets, free drinks to the people, they tested and asked the feedback. And if it is positive, means they will introduce the product, like promotional methods. So normally research and development and promotion works on hands to hands together. So in order to introduce the product of the new product. So these are the things happen. It's a function level strategy. So right. So are you clear? I think human resource, you know that most of the people knows about what is the importance of HR and everything. See, this is about the strategy. We discussed about a lot of things about strategy. Everyone is clear about that? Any doubts? Yeah. I think now you know about what you mean by strategy, different types of strategy, right? How organization focus on strategy on what wise, right? Clear?
Yes.
Are you clear? No? Yeah, I think now you got an idea about the importance of strategy, right? Next, we'll go to next one. Strategic management. Yeah. Now we are coming to the strategic management. We touched about all the strategy, how it will be useful, even strategic versus planning, right? Now, strategic management, according to Fred or David, strategic management is an art and science of formulating, implementing, and evaluating the cross-functional decisions that enable an organization to achieve its objectives. Initially, he rightly told, Karthik also told about success. Instead of focusing on the success, it's objective, because success is an objective. Yes, Karthik, you're accepting? Success is an objective for any organization, right? So
Yes,
instead
sir.
of putting the word success, it is objective. Your point is right, but objective is the right word actually. But every organization, definitely the success. Success in terms of profits, success in terms of sales, anything, right? That is the objective of the company. So kindly note it down. It's one of the beautiful definition given by our David. So kindly note it down. Strategic management is an art and science of formulating, implementing, and evaluating cross-functional decisions that enable an organization to achieve its objectives. Finished? I will move to next slide. Okay. See this is very important in the syllabus also, in this subject also, because if you know this, the entire topic will be covered easily. Subject will be covered easily because everything is highly interlinked with this process only. Strategic management process only divided further into various topics, various units normally, right? So kindly note it down and draw this diagram also. If it's MCQ means it's a one word only. If it's descriptive, kindly note down this steps involved in like a flow chart format. Okay. Strategic management process. Step 1, setting up of strategic intent. So I already told about that. Strategic intent is a second unit. So this diagram is divided into separate units actually. That's a normal thing happen, right? So kindly note down this. Setting up of strategic intent. Strategic intent is again divided into vision, mission, objectives. Even goals also will be there. It's called goals and objectives also. So most of the authors will focus on objectives. It's goal and objectives also. Right. Step 2, strategy formulation, environmental appraisal, organizational appraisal. There are 2 appraisals will be followed. Strategy implementation. Step 3, activation of strategy, designing structure, process and system, behavioral implementation, functional implementation, operationalization strategy. So these are the implementation strategy in step 3. So these are the functions carried out. Step 4, strategy evaluation and control. Evaluate, monitor, and review. So kindly note it down. Step, don't interchange the step. It will differ actually, right? If you change the steps, definitely the meaning will be different. Okay. So kindly note down and memorize it. What is step 1? What is step 2, step 3, and step 4? So kindly note it down. Okay. So what's the time? 2:55. Shall we have 5 minutes break? We'll start by 3 o'clock. What Karthik? What Prabhakar sir? Anybody? Shaheen, Satyanarayan sir?
Yes, sir, we can take.
Yeah, we'll have 5 minutes break. We'll start by 3 o'clock. Clear? Right. Okay. Hello, can you hear me? All are there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. I think we'll start. I think up to this, I think you people are clear with this strategic management process also, because the very important thing, it's a basic thing to cover all the units in the subject also. So kindly note down this. We'll move to the stepwise and everything. We'll discuss this. Yeah, step one is strategic intent. It covers vision, mission, objectives. Vision is the statement that expresses organization ultimate long run objectives. Please kindly note it down. What is the difference between vision and mission? Right. So sometimes people will give the mission answer to the vision and vision answer to the mission. So you should be very clear on that. So kindly note down. Vision is the statement that expresses organization's ultimate long run objectives. Future, right? It's a this is the future. Example, Microsoft, a computer software on every desk and in every home. So this is their vision actually. Microsoft vision. Mission, a mission statement defines the company's business, its objectives, and its approach to reach these objectives. Example again, Microsoft empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. See this, there's a basic difference between mission statement and vision statement of Microsoft. See that mission statement defines the company's business, normally company's business and its objectives and its approach to reach those objectives, right? So objectives, normally we I all told about that. If vision and vision is there, objective will be there, because in vision itself, its objectives there. Mission also objective. Objective specifically how the goal shall be achieved. Following are the areas for setting objective: profit objective, marketing objective, production objective, etc. Various objectives will be there. Some companies have the sales objective, right? So a lot of things, customer satisfaction is objective. So a lot of things will be there. It depends upon the company, it depends upon the organization. So kindly note down strategic intent, step one. So it normally they are called as a VMO, vision, mission, objectives. Next one, strategy formulation. Strategy formulation refers to the process of choosing the most appropriate course of action for the realization of organizational goals and objectives. See that refers to the process of choosing the most appropriate course of action for realization of organizational goals and objectives. Environmental appraisal and organizational appraisal. These are the two things in the strategy formulation. So see this, what do you mean by environmental appraisal? It is a dynamic and consists of internal and external environment. Organizational appraisal, it is a process of observing an organizational internal environment to identify the strength and weakness that may influence the organization ability to achieve the goals. See that environmental appraisal and organizational appraisal. Even organizational appraisal, performance appraisal of an employee, a lot of things will be there. There's an example for that, simple example, and identify the weakness and strength, right, of the organization. A lot of things will be discussed in the organizational appraisal, and identify the gaps and how to fulfill the gaps. A lot of things will be there in strategy formulation. So at least you should know this step one and step two, what you mean by that. And step three, strategy implementation, designing the structure, process, and system. Functional implementation, behavioral implementation, operationalizing strategy. So these are the four functions, key functions in strategy implementation. Step four, strategy evaluation and control. Strategy evaluation and strategy control. It is a process in which corporate activities and performance results are monitored so that actual performance can be compared with the desired performance. Strategy control. In this step, organizations determine what to control. That is, which objectives the organization hopes to accomplish, set control standards, and measure the performance. So these are the things important in the strategic control. So kindly note it down. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Next one, benefits of strategic planning. So various steps we discussed about that. 4 steps are there. So strategic planning, framework for developing the operating budget. It's a management development tool. Mechanism to force managers to think long term. See that long term, always strategic focus on the long term, and frame for short run actions also. So these are the benefits of strategic planning. Normally, long term is the ideal thing in strategy. Next one, the evolution of strategic management thinking and strategic management, right? So how it happens, maybe historical development, a lot of things, evolution, historical developments. The evolution in strategic management thinking, how it happens. According to Lamb in 1984, strategic management is an ongoing process that assesses the business and the industries in which the company is involved, assess its competitors, and sets goals and strategies to meet all existing and potential competitors, and then reassess each strategy annually or quarterly to determine how it has been implemented. So these are the strategic management thinking, because it's an ongoing process. It's a plan of action. You people know that. Initially, we told about that. So they want to assess everything. How the business is going on, what type of company is involved, assess its competitor analysis. Competitor analysis means Michael Porter's 5 force model will come to the picture. That is also one of the analysis. Michael Porter's 5 force analysis. So these are the things in marketing management. That again, it's discussed in the briefly discussed in the marketing management 5 force analysis. It's nothing but competitor analysis. Okay, so that also be taken into account in strategic management. Okay, see this next one, evolution of strategic management. See that how it happens in the year wise, how it evolution or history and everything. 1950s it starts, dominant theme. So various things will be there. Budgetary planning and control. With that only it started. There 1950 dominant theme, right? 1960 to 1970s, early 70s corporate planning. 70s to mid 80s positioning. 80s to 90s competitive advantage, and 2000s it's a strategic innovation. You people know that most of the time we discuss about the innovation, like ideas generation, idea creation, right? Hackathons in college wise. You people know that more innovation based. It's happening, right? In every company, lot of innovations they are focused on that. So these are the dominant theme happening evolution with strategic management. And main issues happens in 1950 once the budgetary planning and control happened. Normally, you people know budget name itself, finance will be there. Finance department will be there. They are the people responsible for the entire organization. It's a heart actually, because I all told about that cost optimization, cost minimization. So everything financial department will take care, and corporate planning, that planning growth and diversification happens. Selecting the sectors, market, positioning, right? Positioning for leadership, right? Focusing on sources of competitive advantage. Again, I already told about that. Competitive advantage means competitive analysis, right? Reconciling size with flexibility and agility. That's a strategic innovation. Key concepts and tools: capital budgeting, financial planning, forecasting, corporate planning, synergy, industry analysis, segmentation, experience curve, portfolio analysis, resource and capabilities, shareholder values, e-commerce knowledge. Yes, e-commerce knowledge also comes in the picture. You know that online business, will come into the picture, like Amazon, Flipkart, and lot of online people came to the business. Cooperative strategy, complexity, owning standards, management implications, coordination and control by budgeting system, corporate planning departments created, rise of corporate planning. So more focus towards the corporates, diversification, global strategy, matrix structures. Yes, see that matrix structures. I told about you people, answer of matrix, DCG matrix, a lot of matrix developed, restructuring, re-engineering, refocusing, outsourcing for the complete advantage, right? And alliances and networks, self-organization, and virtual organization also. So these are the evolution of strategic management happens. Kindly note it down. One of the important questions in the history of strategic management or evolution of strategic management. So 1950s, it begins. From that, it changes into various themes and everything. Historical development of strategic management. I already told about that. This is the birth happens here. So see this, Alfred D. Chandler Jr., Philip Selzink, Igor Ansoff. Ansoff, I told about that. Ansoff matrix. Peter F. So these are the, see this, maybe these people not be called as the father of the strategic management also, right? So these are the people, 4 people mainly involved in the development of strategic management. See this, Alfred Chandler, strategy and structure. Structure follows the strategy. See this, Philip Selzink, organization internal factors with external environmental circumstances like SWOT analysis. You know that, strength, weak, opportunity, and threat. So Philip Selzink focus on that. So kindly note it down. Alfred Chandler, Philip Selzink. Say this, Igor Ansoff, market penetration strategy, product development strategy, market development strategy, horizontal and vertical integration, diversification strategy, corporate strategy. See, he is one of the person actually, marketing management. Market, I already told about that market and the product importance. He only focused on that. See that, market development, market penetration, product development, and diversification. These are the strategies plays a vital role in the business, right? Ansoff matrix, one of the important matrix. At least you people should know that, right? So Igor Ansoff changes the lot of changes in the business. And Peter Drucker stressed the importance of objectives. He focused on objectives, management by objectives, MBO. Peter Drucker focused on the management by objectives. So these are the important historical development of strategic management. Next one, approaches to strategic management. There are various approaches in strategic management. Formal structured approach, right? Under this approach, you start with the systematic procedures and planning programs are set to see that as far as possible strategic decisions taken are on the right path. This job is assigned to only experienced planners. Since it is formal and structured approach, planners are making the best use of different types of planning system, such as strategic, long range, or corporate planning, depending on the variables of the situation. This formal structured approach embraces 3 phases, namely diagnostic, direction, and implementation. See this is also one of the important topic, approaches to strategic management. These are called as a formal structured and formal decision making also may be called as right direction and right implementation, formal structured approach. Next is entrepreneurial approach. Entrepreneurs, the people who are able to take risk that become entrepreneurs. You know that you are able to take the risk, willing to take risk. Various definitions for entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are always interested to earn maximum returns on their investment. So under this approach, every attempt is made by the entrepreneur to exploit the available opportunities in the best interest of the company. Assumption, he takes strategic decisions after carefully diagnosing them to their best capacity. With such necessary precaution, he'd select the course of action best suited to get maximum benefits. Being responsible for good or bad results, should analyze the probable consequence of the decisions taken. This approach is commonly adopted by individual entrepreneurs and small business houses. Entrepreneurial approach. Incremental approach. It involves in making only few alternatives at a time, only when the situation demands. The whole emphasis under this approach is laid on negotiated settlement, and hence whatever strategic decisions seldom taken are of remedial nature. So this is incremental approach. It involves in making only few alternatives at a time, only when the situation demands. Next one, intuitive anticipatory approach. It is based on the intuition or anticipation of the promotion of a business unit. Here, the success depends on the promoter's intuition, judgment, experience, and methods absorbed by him to deal with a variety of strategic problems. Adaptive approach. Under this approach, strategic decisions are taken on the basis of how a change in the environment is going to have its impact at a given time. So, in order to keep pace with the changing environment, the strategic decisions must be reviewed with reference to the current position of the company, its objectives, and effectiveness of the existing strategy. In this way, under this approach, there will be three different approaches to strategic decision making. Entrepreneurial mode of strategies involving intense search for opportunities. Adaptive mode meant for solving short-term problems that arise due to changing environment. And planning mode concerned systematic appraisal of the environment, assessment of internal sources, and choosing the appropriate course of action. These can be grouped into adaptive entrepreneurial approach, adaptive planning approach. So at least people know that what you mean by adaptive approach. A lot of things are there. So kindly note it down. Strategic decisions are taken on the basis of how a change in the environment is going to have an impact at a given time. So this is very important things. Kindly note it down. Intuitive anticipatory approach, and so there are 5 approaches in strategic management, highly interlinked together only. Clear? Yeah. Next is this also be important. McKinsey 7S model of organizational alignment. See, this strategy is one of the McKinsey has developed this model for organizational alignment. See that structure, system, style, staff, skills, and strategy. Strategy is part of the thing. Shared values. So these are the 7 S model. So strategy is also a part of it. Right. Next one. So kindly note it down. Noted. Everyone noted. Because this model is also very famous model. 7S model. I think you people heard about it also. McKinsey 7S model. Yeah. Origin of 7S model. It was first mentioned in the Art of Japanese Management by Richard Pascal and Anthony Athos in 1981. They have been investigating how Japanese industry has been so successful at around the same time that Tom Peters and Robert Waterman were exploring what made company excellent. The 7S model was born at meeting of these four authors, right? So Richard Pascal, Anthony Athos, Tom Peters, and Robert Waterman, people, the people involved in 7S framework and Art of Japanese management also, right? So what do you mean by is it 7S model? It's a management model that describes 7 factors to organize company in a holistic and effective way. Managers should take into account of all the 7 factors to be a successful implementation of the strategy. For a successful implementation of the strategy, 7 lesson. Shared goals, strategy, skills. See that skills, all the things will be highly interconnected together. Staff, structure, system, style. See that highly linked together like skills, staff, system, structure, and style. Staff means people, system, process, the right process to the picture. Structure, roles and responsibility of the staff, like hierarchy and everything. Style, the culture, right? This model is often used as a tool to assess and monitor changes in the internal situation of the organization. Normally, yes, internal situation of the organization, it's considered as one of the vital tool, 7S framework. See this, why shared values in the middle of the model? Placing shared values in the middle of the model emphasize that these values are central to the development of all of the critical elements. The company structure, strategy, system, style, staffs, and skill all stem from why the organization was originally created and what it stands for. See that is the importance of shared value. Why is in the middle of the 7S model. The 7S elements, the 7 interdependent factors are categorized as either hard or soft elements. Hard elements are easier to define or identify. Management can directly influence them. Strategy, structure, and system. So these are the directly influenced by the management. Hard elements. So kindly note it down. 7S model, how we divided also again. Hard and the soft elements. Soft elements, on the other hand, can be more difficult to describe. The soft elements are important as the hard elements if the organization is going to be successful. These are shared values, skills, style, and staff. So name denotes soft elements, but it can be difficult to describe it also. These are the things. So 4 things in the soft and 3 in the hard elements. Okay. So see this, yeah, strategy, structure, system. The plan devised to maintain and build a competitive advantage over the competition. Structure, the way the organization is structured and who reports to whom. That's a hierarchy I told about you, hierarchy. A successful organization may make temporary structural changes to cope up with the specific strategic task without abandoning basic structural divisions throughout the organization. System, the daily activities and procedures that the staff members engage to get the job done. The right process will be there. Shared values called supraordinate goals. When the model was first developed, that is the middle. These are the core values of the company that are evidenced in the corporate culture and general work ethic. 7S, the 5th one, style. The style of leadership adopted in the organization. So what is the style of leadership? Anyone can tell me? Anything know about the leadership, style of leadership? Leadership style. Yeah. What are the two famous leadership style? Autocratic and democratic, right? Autocratic and democratic. Staff, the employees and the general capabilities. Successful organizations view people as resources who should be carefully nurtured, developed, guarded, and allocated. Skills, seventh is the actual skills and competency of the employees working for the company. Refer to those activities organizations to do best and for which they are known. So, Dew Point is known for research and P&G for product management, ITT for financial controls, HP for innovation and quality. These are some of the examples for skill. Advantage of 7S model determines how best to implement a proposed strategy. It guides organizational change, combines rational and hard elements with emotional and soft elements. Managers must act on all S in parallel and all S as a or interrelated. See this. So this is advantage normally. So with this, we are completing the unit 1. So all are clear? Any doubts in the first unit? Yeah?
No, sir, clear.
Clear? No? Okay. So it talks about all the, I touched about all the points also. Even 7S model also, I touched about that. So it's really useful for you. Right. Strategic intent. So in the strategic intent, I told about strategic management process. It normally starts with the strategic intent, step 1. So in the unit 2, strategic intent is classified again according to our syllabus. Strategic intent refers to the purpose that organizations strive for, what a firm should set to achieve. Right? So see this, Reliance being a global leader in its field of activity by being the lowest cost producer of polyester products. Normally, Reliance and polyester products are very cheaper, low cost and everything. So it's important. These some of the examples here mentioned. Right? So strategic intent already told about, vision is there, right? Strategic vision. See that your vision defines how you want your business to seem externally. See that the monk and everything by clients, suppliers, investors, and even competitors. It's what you constantly strive to attain and to becomes your reason for being. So this is a strategic vision. Total description of something, an organization or corporation culture, a business, a technology, and activity in the future. The definition itself, it's comprehensive and states clearly the futuristic position. So according to the description of Kotler, what is strategic vision in the future? Examples, see this, customers trust DHL as the preferred global express and logistics partner, leading the industry in terms of quality, profitability, and market share. So DHL Express and McDonald's vision is to be the world's best quick service, QSR, quick service restaurant experience. Being the best means providing an outstanding quality, service, cleanliness, value, so that we make every customer in every restaurant is the small. So McD's vision. Corporate mission. It tells who we are and what we do, as well as what we like to become. See that three mantras, they will follow that. Who we are, what we do, what we like to become. This is a mission of the any company. In the example, Microsoft also, we told that empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Right? Mission is a statement which defines the role that an organization plays in a society. Clear? Right. So this is about the mission. This motivating, distinctive, indicates major components of strategy: clear, precise, feasible. So these are characteristics: feasibility, precise, clarity, motivation, distinctiveness, indicates major component of strategy. It's the characteristics of mission. Mission statement: your mission is what you to intend to become and accomplish. It should be challenging but achievable. A well-written mission statement demonstrates that you understand your business, have defined your unique focus, and can articulate your objectives concisely to yourself and others. That's all. That's the thing. Microsoft is mentioned here. I already shown that also. Empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Suppose that's a Google's mission, right? Next one is objectives. Objectives are represent a managerial commitment to achieve specified results in a specific period of specific time. They clearly spell out the quantity and quality of the performance to be achieved, the time period, the process, and the person who is responsible for the achievement of objectives. Characteristics of good objective. Objectives should be understandable. Objectives should be concrete and specific. Objectives should be related to time frame. Objectives should be measurable and controllable. Objectives should be challenging. Objectives should be correlated with each other. Objectives should be set within constraints. Objectives have hierarchy, social sanction. Organizational objectives should be changed. So these are the characteristics of good objective. Goals. Next one is goals. I already told about goals and objectives. What do you mean goal? Goal is defined as an intermediate result to be achieved by certain time as part of the grand plan. A plan can therefore have many goals. Goals should be measurable, quantitative, challenging, realistic, consistent, and prioritized. Features. Issues of goal. Short-term goals and objectives should be left to lower level managers to identify, plan, and achieve issues like lowering of cost and improving the quality should be included goals of middle level managers. So it should be well constructed, realistic, and challenging. Challenging goals motivates managers to be innovative, creative, and ambitious in improving operation, marketing, sales, etc. So very important, sales and marketing, you know that, to achieve the targets, to achieve the profits. Specific time period in which a given goal is to be achieved. Yes, specific time period like targets. Okay, so this is yeah, slide is not visible for you. Yeah, it's a difference between goals and objectives and what. Next one, social responsibility. What do you mean? A social SR is also plays an important role along with objectives, goals, and everything. Social responsibility of business simply means social commitment of business towards different groups. Social responsibility is the obligation of the decision makers to make actions which protect and improve the welfare of the society as a whole along with their own interest, according to Bowen, right? Social commitment of business towards different groups. Need for social responsibility of business, impact of its own operations, long life of business, demand and supply of goods and services, taxation and complaints towards government, financial support to social and cultural activities, support to social causes like poverty, education, healthcare, environment, renewable energy, etc. Various causes, you know that. So, like pollution, a lot of things in social responsibility towards different groups. So, responsible towards owners, employees, workers, consumers, customers, community, society, public, investors, shareholders, and government. Right? Yeah. Stakeholders and business. All those who participate in some way in the form of activities of organizations called stakeholder of business. See that strategic intent, stakeholders also there, right? Business is there, stakeholders is there. Who are the stakeholders? Like internal and external stakeholders are there. So company is there, internal stakeholders, employees, manager, owners, external stakeholders, suppliers, customers, society, government, creditors, shareholders. So these are the people involved, stakeholders. Responsibility towards stakeholders, investors, return on investment, ROI, stability, information, proper disclosure, full and factual information, proper conduct of shareholders meeting, good public image, manipulation of share prices, maintain transparency, handling the grievance, maintain solvency and prestige. Okay. So responsibility towards employees and workers, employer and employee relationships, job security, promotion, career opportunity, division of labor and recognition of trade unions, good working conditions, protect health and provide safety measures, social security also to be carried out, fair remuneration and allowances, proper personal policies, education and training, code of conduct and proper grievance procedures, workers' participation in management, opportunities for the development. See, these are responsibility. And towards customers, supply as per demand, charging fair price, honest advertisement, advertisement ethics, fake advertisement should be avoided. After sales service, ASS, reply to complaints, customer service cell, good quality products and services, avoid monopolistic safety, accurate information, consumer welfare, and avoid unethical trade practices. Any example you people give unethical trade practice? Avoid unethical trade practices. Anyone can give me? Hello? Yeah. Avoid unethical trade practices. Any example? Yeah. Pharmacy shops are there, the medical shop. So just give me an example on that. Pricing and medical shop. Whether they are practicing the ethical or unethical. Yeah. Pharmacy practicing unethical or ethical?
Only something we can do, sir. Band we cannot trade.
Which one, Which one, Karthik? Only? What do you mean by in pharmacy? Ethical means what? Unethical means what? Ethical practice and unethical practice. So, okay, I'll give an example. Giving discounts in pharmacy, whether it's ethical or unethical. Giving fat discounts and everything, huh? Right? It's actually in a pharmacy, it should not give it discounts and anything, right? It's a medicine, right? So it's unethical only. But nowadays, because of the competition and everything, they are very much giving the discounts and with the MRP and everything. Normally, the rate should be in the MRP only. But nowadays, more discounts are happening and more online business also comes to the picture. So that become a once upon a time it's unethical only. Now people are focusing on the ethical side, but still it's a unethical side because you may get more spurious drugs also because of the pricing infection. A lot of issues are there. Even substitutes will be there. Even you know that even paracetamol also spurious drugs will be there. You know that, right? Even a lot of fake paracetamols also available. Anyone can know that? So paracetamol, for what purpose it's used normally? I'll give you an example. Paracetamol.
For pain relief, sir. And
Pain reliever and for fever, right? Paracetamol. Oh, somebody's messaged me. Yeah, Shaheen told about painkiller. Yes, painkiller or fever and everything. So what is the ingredient in paracetamol? It's a paracetamol is the ingredient, right? So acetaminophen. It's called as acetaminophen, paracetamol, the name of the raw material. So what happens in a company also, pharma company also, you know that dyeing machines are there, right? Paracetamol will be manufactured, tablet machines will be there, tablet manufacturing. In that, instead of putting the paracetamol raw material, they will only put the excipients. It's called as excipients, you know that, binding agent. So only the raw material is not used, the binding agent will be used to gripness, to protect that raw material. Binding agent normally will be a glucose or starch or carbohydrate. Okay. So what happens? Company will normally, some companies, not every company, some companies will full 100% starch and market it as a paracetamol. Okay. So that is also an unethical trade practice. In the name of paracetamol, they are giving only the starch material. Clear? Everyone is clear? So we can't identify also. We are not able to identify also whether it's a starch or whether it's a paracetamol. If the pain is not relieved, then you can find out something the drug is not working out and properly. So that time you can able to find out. So these are things also happening in the pharma market and pharma world, because now also you people know that vaccine. What is the vaccine status now? Anyone? COVID vaccine? Market status. What is the market status of COVID vaccine and everything?
price, sir.
Yeah.
600, sir. I think COVID is 600. That COVID 600.
600 rupees. Now what happened before that?
And COVID. Before that, it's 300 only. Now they doubled.
Overpriced, shortages. Yes, Karthik, you can proceed. Line is breaking. Yeah, you can proceed.
The COVID shield is 600, and another one is now is 800. And
Which
it's
one?
not
Covaxin.
available in here.
Covaxin. You are talking about Covaxin.
Yes, sir, Covaxin is not available.
Covaxin is not available.
Now.
Yeah, Covishield is rate is increased.
And Covishield is available.
Yeah, Serum Institute of India. deal with the government and everything, and that is also become unethical practice. Yeah, what is your opinion on that? It's also unethical practice only because of this vaccine. Their business is increasing, like Serum Institute of India. Within 2 to 3 days, they're minting with money, right? So these are the things happening. Unethical trade practice, even vaccine business, oxygen business of COVID-19. You know that. Even the word oxygen itself, the share prices increased. So these are the unethical, right? So it should be avoided. Right? Law and order, guidelines, payment of taxes. See this, avoid unethical practices. Again, I told about you people, avoid unethical practices. Foreign exchange, advice to government, help in emergencies. See that, help in emergency getting to the people, right? Extend cooperation, respecting the rules and regulations, political stability, implementation of socio-economic programs. Even these type of emergencies, right? Even corona, it's a pandemic. COVID-19 is a pandemic. It's a disaster, right? It's a disaster for the world, a disaster for India. So the proper strategy should be followed. I think that is missing in the recent days because there is no vaccinations, no beds, no oxygens, lack of oxygen, lot of deaths happening, right? So government also responsible towards government also, they should take care of the uh, people and everything, right? Okay. Responsibility towards society to help the weaker and backward sections of the society, to preserve and promote social and cultural values, to generate the employment opportunities, to protect the environment, to conserve natural resource and wildlife, to promote sports and culture, to provide assistance in the field of developmental research on education, medical science, and technology. These are the things it happen. Images for CSR, most suitable example is use mobile, save paper. Idea has given this image, publicity and promotion methods, advertisements. Arguments for social responsibility, changed public expectation of business, better environment for business, public image, avoidance of government regulations, balance of responsibility with power, business has resources, let business try, moral responsibility, duty of gratitude, citizenship argument, prevention is better than cure. So these are the arguments for the social responsibility. Arguments against social responsibility, profit maximization, society has to pay cost, lack of social skills, business has enough power, social overhead cost, lack of accountability, lack of broad support, less efficient use of resources, lack of social skills. So these are the arguments against the social responsibility. Business ethics, next one is business ethics. That also comes there. Ethics, a lot of ethics issues we discussed. See that ethics is a set of rules that final ethics ideas to business. Frederick and Lawrence, according to Frederick and Lawrence, principles of admirable business ethics: be trust, keep an open mind, be respectful, become community involved. Importance: high ethical performance also individuals from abused by unethical employees or unethical competitors. Social audit. A social audit is a way of measuring, understanding, reporting, and ultimately improve an organization's social and ethical performance. A social audit helps to narrow gaps between vision goal and reality, between efficiency and effectiveness. These are the social audit, how it happens. Characteristics of social audit: wide coverage, measure social performance, systematic evaluation, supplement to social responsibility, act as a guide, subjective nature, voluntary in character. So these are some of the important topics in the strategic intent unit 2. Okay, so kindly note it down and please refer your notes also for a better thing, and please follow this class notes PPT for in the examination point of view, right? So in this unit, main topic is vision, objectives, and social responsibility. Main important questions will be followed, and stakeholders and business also, internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. Okay, all are clear? Everyone is clear? So we are completed unit 2. After 5 minutes break, we'll go to the unit 3. Are you okay? Everyone is okay with that? We'll have 5 minutes break.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Hello. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So PPT is visible. I changed the PPT.
Yes, it's good.
Unit 3, right? It's visible for you?
No, no, it's showing characters of social audit.
That's all. Okay. Just a minute. Now, Unit 3 is visible for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, environmental appraisal, right? So in strategic management process, you people know that like strategic intent, strategic formulation, strategic implementation, strategic control, evaluation control is there, right? Strategic intent also we discussed. Strategy formulation, that is environmental appraisal and organization appraisal. So environmental appraisal is unit 3 and unit 4 is organization appraisal. One by one we'll discuss. So always remember the strategic management process. That will be very useful for you. Okay, right. So we'll discuss now environmental appraisal. What do you mean by environment? What is environment? You people know that environment means normally the surrounding. Normally in our school days also we studied about environment with surrounding will be there, right? So same thing in the business environment also is there. Environment means surrounding, external objects, influences or circumstances under which someone or something exists. So this is the environment. The environment of any organization is the aggregate of all conditions, events and influences that surround and affect it, right? So this is about the environment. Kindly note it down. Characteristics of environment. Environment is complex. Okay? The environment consists of number of factors, events, conditions, and influences arising from different sources. All these do not exist in isolation, but interact with each other to create an entirely new set of influences. So characteristics of environment, it's complex in nature, right? So because different conditions, different events will happen, different factors on different factors. So it will be a complex in nature. Environment is dynamic also. One side is complex and another side is dynamic. The environment is consistently changing in nature. Yes. Due to many and varied influence operating, there is a dynamism in the environment causing to continuously change its shape and character. So environment is called as a dynamic. So environment is multifaceted. Shape and character of environment assumes depends on perception of observer. It's a multifaceted. A particular change in environment or new development may be viewed differently by different observers. You know that perception of the customer also varies. Even suppose people like Amazon, some people like the Flipkart, right? Same thing. Some people like Ola, some people like Uber. Some people like Domino's. Some people depends upon the perception of the customers, observers, right? In company point of view also, right? Some people like this Tata, some people like Reliance, right? So various things will be there. So multifaceted will be there, right? Environment has a far-reaching impact on organizations. The growth and profitability of an organization depends critically on the environment in which it exists. Any environmental change has an impact on organization in several different ways. So these are characteristics of environment. Next one, yes. See this in environment. Normally, people know that. What is this figure shows? What is analysis called as? What do you mean by this analysis? Name of the analysis?
SWOT.
No, what is it? Yeah, full form.
Strength, weakness.
Yeah, opportunity and threat. Yes, because it's called as a SWOT analysis, right? SWOT analysis, or in a matrix form, it's called as the TOWS matrix. TOWS. Okay, TOWS matrix. We'll discuss in detail also in later sessions, right? So these are the SWOT analysis plays a role here in environment. See this SWOT analysis types: internal environment, external environment. Internal environment, what do you mean by internal environment? See that strength. It is an inherent capacity which an organization can use to gain strategic advantage, right? Example, good reputation among customers, resources, assert, people, and experience. That is the strength of the organization. Weakness, it is an inherent limitation or constraint which creates strategic disadvantages, right? Examples, gaps in capabilities, financial deadlines, low morale, even people not working properly, right? It's a disadvantage for that. So internal environment normally focus on strength and weakness, right? External environment, next one is external environment. Opportunity, it is a favorable condition in organization environment which enables to consolidate and strengthen its position. Example, economic boom, favorable demographic shifts, arrival of new technologies, etc. Right? That's opportunity. Threat, it's an unfavorable condition for organization environment which creates a risk or for causes damage to organization. Economic downturn, demographic shift, etc. Even competitors, right? For a business wine, so you start the business, a threat is major competitor happen there, right? Even now also, e-commerce industry become a very booming industry. Maybe Tata is planning to invest a lot of money on that. Reliance also plan to invest a lot of money on that e-commerce, because Geo, you know that Geo Mart becomes so popular. At the same time, Tata also wants to invest more money. Tata wants to grab a lot of companies also. He also wants to become a leader in e-commerce. So a lot of competition happens. So that is also a threat actually. So healthy competition, but competitors' point of view, it's a threat, right? So these are one of the external environment here. See this again, types of environment here. Internal environment, micro environment, macro environment. See this internal environment. What are the things involved here? Employees, cash flow, capital assets, materials, structure. This happens inside the organization normally. See this micro environment, stakeholders, competitors, supplier, intermediaries, that agents, brokers, consumers. These are external environment. External environment is normally divided into two. Okay, I will show you the next slide. Micro environment and macro environment. So macro, you know this, pest, political, environmental, social, technological. Pest analysis normally is called as a pest analysis. SWOT analysis for the overall view of the internal, external. External environment, pest analysis plays a vital role, relates to the macro environment. Okay, so kindly note down this image. You can write your own points also with this help of this diagram, right? Internal and external environment. External is again divided into micro and macro. Yeah. See this external environment. Again, I told about you people, two types are there, micro environment and macro environment. Microenvironment consists of actors, the company's immediate environment that affects the performance of the company. So see this microenvironment, stakeholders, competitors, suppliers, intermediaries, consumers. Macro consists of larger societal forces that affect all the factors in company's microenvironment. The best thing is environmental factors also, right? Political factors also, technological one, the updation of the technologies, obsolete, technology become obsolete. So that is also one of the things, right? External thing. So kindly note it down, micro and macro environment in external. Factors influencing microenvironment, I told about you, suppliers, consumers, market intermediaries, competitors. Consumers, based on the needs, purchasing power, and behavior, that plays a vital role. Purchasing power also very important thing. Nowadays in Corona, COVID-19 cases also, the purchasing power is reduced with the BPL thing. Below poverty line people are more suffered a lot. Still they are suffering. So we should very concerned on that, right? Market intermediaries, you know that the channels of distribution and like wholesalers, retailer, brokers, agents, middlemen, all the people will place an important role in market intermediaries. So manufacturer from wholesale to wholesaler, wholesaler to retailer, right? So these are things. Macro environment are the major external and uncontrollable factors that influence an organization decision making and affects its performance and strategies. So these factors include sociological factors, political factors, legal factors, educational factors, technological factors, economical factors, natural factors, environmental factors, right? Sociological factors, it concerns with society as a whole. It covers health, media, education, minorities, religion-wise, women, organized labor, legal system, and demographic. The biggest challenge to firm in the society is the changing demands. Political factors, political environment gives shape to business. Political stability, government administration, philosophy of the political parties, right, are some of the political factor which affects the business environment. So a lot of things, political factors also nowadays, if people know that, it affects the Indian business on a whole actually. So that's a threat also to macro environment. Legal factors, legal environment has a permanent and lasting impact in shaping business. Labor Law Act, Industrial Dispute Act, Minimum Wages Act, Law of Contract, Import and Export Control Act, Tax Law Act are a few legal factors. Educational factors, educational cum cultural environment affects business activities and managerial skills. These include literacy. Yes, literacy plays an important role. Attitude toward training and skill required for business, like specialized, vocational, and technical training. So this is educational. Technological factors. Technology is about application of tools, methods, and techniques to improve production process. Technology is life for growth and competitiveness of business. Economic environment, conditions such as business cycle, unemployment, inflation rate, monetary policies, industrial policies, trade policies are also affects the business environment. See this very important thing, economic also, because here unemployment issues can happen here. So we should be very careful on that, right? Natural and ecological factors. Use of modern technology, sometimes huge social cost in terms of deterioration of environmental pollution, ecological balance. So business environment should also be considered about natural resources, weather and climatic conditions, health hazards, etc. Maybe just give the example for this, anyone? Natural and ecological factors, maybe in Tamil Nadu or in India level. What is that? Any example? What are the problems facing with industries or business? How this damage happens? especially in Tamil Nadu? Yeah, anyone can tell me about that? How the problem happens with the natural and ecological factors in terms of business, how the environment gets affected. Any example, live example in Tamil Nadu? Yeah. Anyone like Siranjeevi sir, Kausalya madam, Karthik, Joseph Raj sir. Anyone? Satyanarayan sir, Shaheen, Spurja ma'am, Prabhakan sir. Okay, I'll give you an example here. What about Tirupur in Tamil Nadu? Now tell me. I given an example clue also. Tirupur in Tamil Nadu. What's the problem? What's the problem they are facing? Why Tirupur has become a ecological disturbance and ecological problem there?
The dye waste is there, sir.
Dye, they are using textile industries there. Yes, Karthik told. Dyes are using. What happens with the help of the dye and environment?
The dye waste is mixed with water. It's
Okay. So underground water gets contaminated,
so
right? With the
yes.
dyes mixed with the dye and chemicals and everything.
And in Tanjore, the hydrocarbon.
Tanjore hydrocarbon issue. Yes. Right. What about in Kudankulam?
Now it's running, but still is problem, sir.
It's a problem only. Na? Kudankulam is a problem only. So definitely environmental
Yes.
happens actually. Right. And usage of more fossil fuels also. Right. Petrol, diesel. Right. Petroleum products. It affects the air pollution. Right. Respiratory problems. A lot of things will happen. Even plastics. Right. Plastic should be banned and everything. But still we are using the plastics and plastic covers, plastic products. So a lot of things will be there, right? So this is another thing, and even they are constructing the company and everything. They are not bothering about the environment surrounding things like trees and everything, right? They will destroy. What about mining? Mining also, right? Mining also create problem. You know that mining, right? The entire area gets affected. Soil erosion will happen. Trees won't be planted, right? Trees won't grow. So a lot of things will happen here, right? Historical factors, business environment is also affected by historical factors. Business environment in a number of newly independent countries have been determined by the post-colonial status. Historical factors also there, right? So again, environment sectors. Okay, again they mentioned one more thing. Maybe we'll quickly review on that here. Some of the international environmental thing. Economic environment. The economic environment consists of macro level factors related to means of production and distribution of wealth that have an on a business organization. Some important factors: economic stage in which country exists, economic structure adopted like capitalistic, socialistic, or mixed economy, economic policies such as industrial, monetary, and fiscal policies. Economic planning should be done, 5-year plan, annual budget, etc. Infrastructural factors such as banks, mode of transportation, etc. Right? So international environment, this international environment consists of all factors that operate on transnational, cross-cultural, and across border level, having impact on business of organization. See this globalization, internationalization, that is very important. Its process, content, and direction. Global economic forces, block and forum. global trade and commerce, its process and trend, global financial system, sources of financing, geopolitical situation, equation, alliances, and strategic interest of nations. So, any example for this international environment, India and some other countries, what they are doing in our country? Any examples?
Putting the dumping waste, sir.
Dumping waste. Okay. E-waste, right? Dumping yard for other countries. India
Yes.
is a dumping yard, or is considered basket also. Some people termed as a basket, right? So a lot of terminology is used for India in terms of other countries, abroad countries, and everything. Okay, that is one part. What's other part? Like what type of investment they carried out in India? Any abroad countries? Any countries? One is e-waste. Yes, huge waste has been dumped and very easy. And India is doing that business actually. Any other? Any other business carried out in India? International. What about Hyundai? Hyundai company? It's Indian-based company or international-based company?
It's Korean, North Korea.
Yeah,
South
Korea
Korea.
company, right? So it's a simple example I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a globalization. Hyundai is doing good. I think you know that, right? Karthik? Hyundai is doing good in terms of car sales and everything, right? So even sales also good.
Yes, sir, everything is Hyundai.
Yeah. Even what about Samsung? Samsung, what about Samsung? Samsung ACs and everything. Panasonic, right? So a lot of companies. Renault Nissan also, right? Renault Nissan, right? Even in insurance sectors also, right? Insurance sectors also, like Edelweiss Tokyo, you know that a lot of companies, internationalization, globalization will happen in terms of business environment, right? So these are some of the examples. Market environment, yes, the market environment consists of factors related to group and other organizations that compete with and have an impact on organization market. Some factors are as below: customer or client factors such as need, preference; product factors such as demand, image; market intermediary factors like delivery systems. So these are the market environment, normally focus on that. Political environment consists of factors related to management of public affairs and impact on business organization. The political system and its features like nature of political system, the political stability and its goals, political process like operation of party system, elections, political philosophy, government role in business, etc. So this political environment also plays an important role. So now I'm not talking about the political issues, but an overall view. Now India is going actually. Or minority. Which one is good? I'm talking about the. I'm not talking about the parties. On the whole, what type of government is benefited to the nation? Whether the party have the complete majority or minority with other party support. What do you feel? Whether it's which one is good and which one is considered to be bad actually. Yeah.
So the party have full support.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Tell me.
The parties, which party have the full support?
Majority you are talking, Karthik. If the party is having majority, that is good you are talking about or bad?
No, so that is good. If my point of view.
Okay, good only. Okay, if the party is having minority and support with others, what's whether it's good or bad? In terms of business, I'm talking about. I'm talking about that business, organization, everything, right? So think in that manner and tell me which one is good or which one is bad. Suppose the coalition party is there, right? Minority and supporting with others. What is the benefit? Any idea on that? Or drawbacks? Advantage or disadvantage?
So the parties have the supporting them, sir, for investments or the business.
Okay. Complete majority you are talking about politically.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So complete, yes, Karthik point of view, complete majority they will do it. But what happens the negative side? The complete majority also, they are taking their own decisions. They are not discussing with others. Am I right or wrong? Lot of issues become a controversy, right? I think you see the political recent in our state, in our central also. I think you feel the difference actually, right? Majority is there, but what happens that they are very much confident and they are taking their own decisions. Whether it's good or bad to the environment, they are not bothered about that. They are taking their own decisions. At one point of time, it will become a bad also, right? So there is no opposition, nothing will be there. So whatever they think, they will implement it. So sometimes it will affect the business, it will affect the environment, right? So both the things will be there. So the political party, even it's mentioned here, political process like operation of party system, elections. So that also taken into account for healthy environment for business point of view and everything. So the balanced structure should be maintained with help of the political parties, political systems, and everything, right? It should not affect the environment. So regulatory environment, the regulatory environment consists of factors related to planning, promotion, regulation of economic activities, the constitutional framework, directive principles, policies related to licensing, monopolies and foreign investment, policies related to distribution, pricing and control, policies related to imports and exports. So regulatory policies related to imports and exports, you know that. So a lot of regulatory should be followed. So regulatory environment, socio-cultural environment consists of factor related to human relationship within society, the development, forms and function of such relationship and learned and shared behavior of groups of human being having a bearing in business or socio-cultural, right? Activities, socio-cultural environment plays a role. Yeah. Some of the important factors and influences operating in social environment, demographic characteristics like population, density, socio-cultural attitudes and values such as expectation of society from business, social custom, family structure and changes in it, role of position of men, women, children, and aged in family and society. See that thing? Supplier environment. The supplier environment consists of factors related to cost, reliability, and availability of the factors of production or services that have impact on business of an organization. Some important factors are cost availability and continuity of supply of raw material, cost availability of finance, cost, reliability, and availability of energy used in production, cost, availability, and dependability of human resource. So supplier, important of supplier. So normally in a supplier environment, the mutual relationship between the supplier and the organization, right? Definitely the people who are giving the affordable cost and cost reduction with a good quality and everything and credit period. So suppliers definitely become a favor to the organization. Technological environment. The technological environment consists of those factors related to knowledge applied and material and missions used in production of goods and services that have impact on business of an organization. Some important factors are sources of technology like company source, external source and foreign source, technological development, stages of development change and rate of change of technology, communication and infrastructure technology and management. So these are important technological environment. So internal environment, so human resource, company image and brand equity, right? Some of the internal environment. So normally in internal environment, normally focus on the internal organization internally. Human resource plays in a vital role. because people are working there, people management is there, human, they are called as a human capital. The characteristics of human resources like skill, quality, morale, commitments, attitudes, etc. could contribute to the strength and weakness of the organization. The involvement, initiative, etc. of the people at different levels may vary from organization to organization. Here, the motivation levels, morale, good behavior, attitude plays a vital role in human resource, and good people management skills also plays a vital role. Company image and brand equity. The image of the company matters while raising finance, forming joint ventures with or other alliances, soliciting market intermediaries, entering purchase or sale contracts, launching new products, etc. See this management structure and nature, the organization structure, the composition of the board of directors, extent of professionalization of management, etc. are important factors influencing the business decisions. Right? Internal power relationship. Factors like the amount of support the management, top management enjoys from lower levels and workers, shareholders, and board of directors have important influence on the decisions and their implementation. The relationship between the members of board of directors is also a critical factor. So kindly note it down. These are the internal environment. Okay. Next is environment scanning. In the environmental appraisal, the scanning process continues here. See this. Business decisions are influenced by two set of factors. Already told about that. Internal factors and external factors. Business environment presents two challenges in the enterprise. The challenge is to combat the environmental threats, exploit the business opportunities. Environmental analysis is one of the first steps in the strategic management. Right? It can be defined as process by which organization monitor their relevant environment to identify opportunities and threats affecting their business for the purpose of taking strategic decisions. So rightly, kindly note it down. What is environment scanning? So identify the opportunities and threats plays an important role. That is the external environment, right? Because internal is different. External is very important. There only the micro environment and macro environment is there. Even competitors are there in the business. Suppliers are there. A lot of people are there. Even political environment, technology, even use the important technologies are used, right? Nowadays, what are the hospitals are shifting towards? Any idea on that? Hospital. What type of technologies now hospital shifting towards or moving towards? Anyone can give idea? Nowadays, what type of technology hospital prefers or hospital moving towards? What type of technologies? Yeah. I'm talking about hospital and technology only. What type of things will happening now, recent days? Robotics. You heard about robotics or not? Anyone? Robotics,
Yes, sir.
artificial intelligence, right? AI, IoT, right? A lot of things. Blockchain. So everything comes into the picture in the hospital also. Advancements, technology-wise, computerized hospitals, right? So a lot of things happening in the technology, and even I'll ask one example. A radiology department is there, right? What do you mean by radiology department? What is the use of the radiology department?
Is that the diagnostic area?
Diagnosis. They are used for diagnosis. So what's happening now? The technology is very much turn in the radiology. They're called as you people. Maybe you heard about that. Interventional radiologist. Any idea on that? Interventional radiologist.
No, sir.
In the radiology, suppose CT scans, MRI scans they are taking, right? In radiology for diagnosis, what type of problem, what type of diseases the people is suffering. So in that situation itself, interventional radiologist means they will do the surgeries without bleeding, anything will happen. Intervention. They are using the needles and everything, latest equipments. So in the radiology itself, radiology department itself, they'll undergo the surgeries, right? So without surgery, without bleeding, nothing will happen. Especially in the two cases, it happens widely in Tamil Nadu and India also. India, Tamil Nadu becomes so popular. The two situations, two diseases like uterus surgeries and varicose veins. You heard about, right? Varicose veins. So without surgery, they are doing in the interventional radiology itself. So that is the latest advancements and technology happening in the hospitals. That is a transformation happens in there. So why I'm telling technology. So these are the things happening in there. So right, factors to be considered for scanning. The external environment in which an organization exists consists of bewildering a variety of factors. These are follow: events, trends, issues, expectation. Events are important and specific occurrences taking place in different environment sectors. Trends or general tendencies are the courses of action along which events takes place. Issues are current concerns that arise in response to events and trends. Expectations are demands made by interested groups in light of their concern for issues. Okay, next. Approaches to environmental scanning. Guber has suggested 3 approaches which could be adopted for sorting out information for environmental scanning. Systematic approach, ad hoc approach, processed form approach. Kindly note down. These are 3 approaches in environment scanning. Systematic, ad hoc, processed form approach. See this modes of scanning. There are 3 modes of scanning mentioned there already: systematic scanning, ad hoc scanning, processed form scanning. Systematic scanning, information related to markets and customers, changes in legislation, regulations having a direct impact on organization activities, government policy, etc., are collected continuously by taking relevant factors into account. Right? Ad hoc scanning, conducting special surveys and studies to deal with environmental issues from time to time. Processed form scanning, using information in a processed form available from different sources inside and outside the organization. The factors affecting environment scanning: external, internal environment, events, trends, issues, expectations, infrastructure, HR, hardware, abilities, and structure. So this is the environment factors affecting normally environment scanning. See this environment scanning and monitoring techniques. So various techniques used in the terms of environment scanning and monitoring. So already people know that SWOT analysis, pest analysis, industry analysis, competitor analysis, and quest analysis also. So 5 techniques normally used in the environmental and scanning and monitoring. SWOT analysis, you people know that. Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. See this, strength, weakness, threat is considered as a bombs actually. So it's very careful in threat. Yeah. The strength of the business can help it to maintain advantage over competitors. Its weakness, on the other hand, may cause the business to fail. An entrepreneur should exploit or discover the opportunities that come in his way to stay competitive and recognize the possible threat that can challenge his position in the market. Right? Pest analysis, political, economic, social, and technological. PEST stands for that, and describes a framework of macro environment factors. It's a macro environment I already told about you people. PEST comes under the macro, used in the environment scanning component of strategic management. Some analysis added legal and rearranged the mnemonic to slept. Okay, inserting environment factors, expanded to pestle. See that? Environmental, legal, or pestle. See, various things will be added. They are pronounced actually, right? The model has been recently further extended to steeple and stippled, adding ethics also. So pest is expanded in terms of adding legal, environmental, right? So already we discussed about that, environmental, legal, right? And even ethics, demographic. So various things will be added, keep on adding. It's a part of the external analysis, which conducting a strategic analysis or doing market research, and gives an overview of the different macro environment factors that the company has to take into consideration. It is a useful strategic tool for understanding market growth or decline, business position, potential, and direction for the operations. The growing importance of an environmental or ecological factors in the first decade of 21st century have given rise to green business, yes, and encouraged widespread use of an updated version of the PEST framework. Green business, it's so popular in this country, Germany. They are very much focusing on the studies also, education also in green business and everything. Yeah. So updated a version of the PEST framework. Steer analysis systematically considers, right? We discussed about that also, like ecological factors and regulatory factors, right? Socio-cultural, technological, economic, ecological, and regulatory factors. All the things we discussed in the environmental factors itself. So various names, don't get confused. Pestle, pestile, pest. Now steer analysis, everything will be included in the pest analysis. Industry analysis is a tool that facilitates a company's understanding of its position relative to other companies that produce similar products or services. Understanding the forces at work in the overall industry is an important component of effective strategic planning. Industry analysis enables small business owners to identify the threats and opportunities facing their business and to focus their resources on developing unique capabilities that could lead to be a competitive advantage. So industry analysis also be done. Is a tool that facilitates companies' understanding of its position, right, related to other companies that produce similar products or services. Next one, competitor analysis. I told about that. Competitor analysis, also called as 5-force analysis. Michael Porter's 5-force model. Various names will be called as, right? Competitor analysis in marketing and strategic management is an assessment of the strength and weakness of current and potential competitors. This analysis provides both an offensive and defensive strategic context through which to identify opportunities and threats. Competitor profiling coalesces of all the relevant sources of competitor analysis into one framework in the support of efficient and effective strategy formulation, implementation, monitoring, and adjustment. competitor analysis is an essential component of corporate strategy. It is argued that most of the firms do not conduct this type of analysis systematically enough. Instead, many enterprises operate on what is called informal impressions, conjectures, and intuition gained through the of information about competitors every manager continually receives. As a result, traditional environment scanning places many firms at risk of dangerous competitive blind spots due to the lack of robust of competitor analysis. So, competitor analysis, maybe the forthcoming session, I will discuss in detail also about this Michael Porter's 5-force model. Various analysis can be done there, right? Like bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyers, potential entrants, threat of entry, and threat of substitutes. These are the things, various issues will be there. So with that, competitor analysis can be carried out. Okay. And one more thing is I told about the quest, QUEST, quest analysis also. Quest is nothing but quick environmental scanning technique. It is an educational planning model designed to identify emerging issues, okay, and events which portend threats and opportunities, right? Normally, it's used for the educational purpose and everything. Quick environmental scanning technique. So normally, it's used in educational colleges and universities. Normally, they use that one, the environment. So other things are normally used in the business and everything. Quest is normally used in the education sectors, right? Quick environmental scanning technique, Quest. Clear? So any doubts here? I think we finished up the unit 3 also. Any doubts? This is very important techniques. Kindly note it down. Environment scanning techniques. You can able to write 5 techniques are there, right? So all are clear? Siranjeev, Kausale ma'am, Karthik, all are clear? Prabhakar sir, Satyanarayan sir, Shaheen, Supraja ma'am, all are clear with this concepts?
Yes, sir.
Up to three units are clear, na? Any doubts in this? Yeah. Right. So kindly note down this very important thing. Yeah, Shaheen mentioned, yes, sir. Okay, thanks, Shaheen. I think Shaheen also knows about, I think he also interacted with the chat and everything. Great. So, right. So these are the methods. What is the time now? 4:48. Okay. Maybe another 5 minutes we'll have break. Maybe another 15 to 20 minutes we'll start at the unit 4 also. We'll complete by 5:50. Okay. Hello. Yeah, Karthik or anybody. We have 5 minutes break here. Then we'll start with the unit 4. After 10 minutes, we'll complete the right. We have another 5 minutes breakdown. Now the time is 4:50. So 4:55 we'll join with the unit 4. Right. So we have 5 minutes break. We'll join by 4:55. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So we'll start the session. Another 10 minutes we'll finish off, right? We'll start with the unit 4. Okay, it's an organizational appraisal. So I already told about you people. Environmental appraisal is also finished now. So we are in the unit 4, right? You can able to see the PPT.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So this is organizational appraisal. Okay. So previous unit we discussed about the environmental appraisal and various things we followed that. About the entire environment we discussed about that. So this is organizational appraisal. See this introduction. Appraisal of internal environment enables a firm to decide about what can do, right? The resources, behavior, strength and weakness, synergy and competencies constitute the internal environment. All these together determine the organization capability that leads to the strategic advantage. So see this organizational capability could be understood in terms of strength and weakness existing in different functional areas of an organization. Right. So internal environment, already I think you people knows about what you mean by internal environment. So many times we discussed about that, right? Strength and weakness, it comes into your picture. Okay, and one more thing, the SWOT analysis we discussed, right? Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So in the SWOT analysis, maybe I will show you that. Yes, here only is there. Just a minute. Yeah, so strength, weakness, and opportunity and threat is there, right? So what do you mean? What do you mean by this strength? And opportunity. This part is to the organization point of view, whether it may be a helpful or harmful. Because there are two terms normally used, helpful and harmful. Which one become a helpful and which one is harmful to the organization or anything or a business? Yeah. Which two is called as the helpful and which two is called as the harmful? Now tell me.
Weaknesses and threats.
Which one? What is that called as?
That is for not helpful for organization.
Harmful, right? A weakness and threat is harmful to the business or organization, right? This strength and opportunities is called as the helpful, right? So kindly note it down because most of the time they won't tell about this also, because nowadays we are very much discussing about recent days SWOT analysis, helpful and harmful also. So kindly note it down. Strength and opportunity is helpful, weakness and threats it becomes the harmful, right? Right. So this is about this. Right. So internal environment of a business consists of various factors existing within an organization, which results into building its strength and weakness. It includes employees and their skills base, level of technological availability of various resources like finance, infrastructure, and process also, organizational design and structure, organizational work culture, procedure, policies, etc. It comes in the internal environment. Strengths and weakness meaning internal environment, strength and weakness, external opportunity and threats. Strength. A strength of the business is its capacity or ability to perform or to possess any resource relevant for the success or otherwise of a firm, which may not be processed by a rival player in the industry, right? For example, skilled manpower, level of technology, like I told about that, updated technology, recent technology, everything will be used. Economy of scale or availability of the cheap finance, intense distribution channels, raw material component least cost, efficient suppliers. The strength possessed by a firm, either in the short run or in the long run business, can take a risk based on one of its strength. If realized, can help strategic planning of the firm. So these are advantage of the strength. Again, we are discussing detail about this. So kindly note it down. It's very useful for you. You can write the examination. A weakness of a business in its shortcoming something which a rival firm may have. This weakness determines the level of strategic advantage gained by competitive firm over a business. A weakness could be poor availability or poor retention of skilled manpower or unable to do something or to possess. Examples are as high cost of capital, outdated or expensive technologies, high cost of production, unreliable supplier, shallow distribution channels, poor state of logistics and physical distribution. So yes, in this method, organization appraisal, there are method and technologies normally used for organization appraisal. There are three kinds of technology method used: internal analysis, comparative analysis, and comprehensive analysis. See this internal analysis. There are three types: internal analysis, comparative, comprehensive. Kindly note it down. Internal analysis, value chain analysis, and quantitative analysis. Right? Internal analysis, it is an analysis of the internal environment of the organization, strength and weakness. This analysis can be done by various methods also. So value chain analysis and quantitative analysis is there. So I think in the next class I will discuss about in detail about this overall picture. So I will discuss about the three types in the methods: internal analysis, comparative and comprehensive analysis also, value chain analysis and quantitative analysis also. The next class we will discuss in detail about this topic in detail with more diagrams and right. I think with this we stop here. Right, everyone's clear. Next session, we will complete the strategic management also with the remaining units. Okay, clear? Everyone is clear? I think with this we'll stop here session. Okay.
Yes, sir. Clear. Thank you.
Okay,
thanks.
sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Right. Be safe. Take care of your family and parents also, children also, because Corona is spreading a lot. So be careful. Have a safe weekend. We'll meet on next week. Right. Thanks a lot. Take care. I think everybody's clear now up to unit 4. I think you people are clear. Right. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Take care.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Karthik இருக்கீங்களா?